Hello everyone. I wanted to make a video about how to do from start to finish, make the parts necessary for an assembly. So we're going to make the parts for our box, our heirloom box for Year 10 in particular, but this applies to other years as well. The assembly process tends to be pretty similar. So if you're in another year and you have a different project, you can still pay attention and use this as a skill building exercise. So what we have here is our heirloom box or our jewelry box, and I've already modeled all the parts for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the modeling process, and then we're going to do an assembly as well. Okay, so I can show you all of the different parts. I've created a top piece, two long panels and two side panels, and a base piece. These are all editable, so the beauty of this is it's a bit of a blank canvas, and I don't expect you to make exactly what I'm making right now. I expect you to make something a bit different, but use these skills in order to make it. Right? So the overarching dimensions will stay the same as per your assessment notification when it comes up. I can refresh that page. And those overarching dimensions I've just done a quick sketch of. All right, if you can see that. That just allows me a bit of a reference point while I'm modelling, because it is difficult to do the modelling process without any kind of reference point, okay? And it's a lot easier to do a sketch than it is to create a CAD model. So our overarching dimensions are 160 by 340 by 220. And you can work that however you want to work that. You might make that your height dimension, which is what I've done, or you might make it your length dimension, and you might make 340 your height dimension. So it's quite a tall box as opposed to a long box, okay? So that's kind of the freedom that you have, and I want to really emphasize that because I want you to make something unique and I want you all to have your own spin on it. We have a lot of scope within that. It may seem like it's prescribed, but there's a lot of scope to work with. So this is what the assembly will look like, and all the parts aren't movable, they're locked into each other. But the lid is movable just so you can see how it works, okay? So if I come down to a lower angle, you can see that it's recessed, and that recess is the exact dimension of the inside walls of our box. So it should be a perfect pressure fit, right? I can also make it so that I've created a mate, so a relationship between the parts. If I unsuppress that, it will completely lock to the box and it won't allow me to move it. All right, so I'm actually clicking and trying to drag it out. But if I suppress that relationship, I can then move it around. I just can't go left or right because I've got other relationships, so I can only go up and down. All right, we'll get to that later anyways, but let's start modeling so we can get to the assembly process. So first thing I want to do is select my front panel, and the first part we'll start to model is our longest panel. I've called it part 1, but I also called it the long edge on the other side. Okay. So on our, just quickly, sorry, on our long edge we have dovetails on one side and just normal finger joins on the other. Okay. So like that, and then you'll see the dovetails. Obviously you can see that they're on an angle here, but they're also locking into place on this side. So that creates a little bit of a challenge in assembly, but not really that big of a deal. Nothing you can't handle. So let's select our front panel and then do a sketch. Go to our front view, and I'm going to select the center point rectangle. So drop down menu, center point rectangle, drag, left click in the origin point, left click arbitrarily outside, so it's created some kind of rectangle. And then my width or length dimension is going to be 340 millimeters, and my height dimension is going to be 160 millimeters. So remember, when those white boxes come up, and that's what it's doing, is it's saying to you, it's beckoning to you, please put a dimension in me, okay? Please input the dimension, input some numbers so I can make a dimension out of it. Anyways, that's important, okay? Because if you're just arbitrarily dragging and dropping things, then you're not really being very specific about how your model is configured. So the first thing we want to do is create some lines, some reference points for our dovetails and for our figure joints as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the line tool, and then I'm going to select this guy over here. And what he does is he allows the lines to be essentially phantom lines or invisible lines. They're still visible, but they're just there for reference, for my reference, okay? They don't actually mean anything because they don't extrude, they don't affect the sketch or anything like that. So as you can see, it's a dotted line, it's a broken line, and these are solid lines, so that's the distinction between the two. Alright, so I'm going to draw a line along here, and I'm going to make it 15 mil. Because hypothetically, I'm working with 15 mil timber. I've just chosen that. It might be different for you. Then I'm going to draw a line straight down. It's perpendicular. As you can see, there's two little icons that show up. One when I take it off the edge of the line, and that's called the right angle. It's basically a right angle. It's telling me that I'm going perfectly 270 degrees down, or negative 90 degrees. So when that line goes yellow, I'm going to click on that because I want it to go all the way across. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So if I go escape, I can select my line tool again, and then construction line again, go across, 15 mil, enter, and then all the way down. And it also makes the line yellow, and that means it's going straight. Alright, so with this one, this is my dovetail side, and this is my finger joint side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go 15 mil in from the sides first. That's the first point, 15 mil in, and I'm going to bring that line across, and then I'm going to deselect and then go to the other side, go 15 mil in, and then bring that line across, perfectly perpendicular. Now with this one, I'm going to actually add a little bit of extra stuff. I'm going to go another 2.5 mil in, right? You probably could have just done 17.5, but just gives me that kind of reference point. I can change that if I want. So what I'm going to do with that extra 2.5 is I'm going to draw a line from here to here, and that's going to be the angle that my dovetail will travel at. Alright, so that's another reason why it's kind of handy, because I can control that tiny discrepancy between the bottom and the top face. I can still do that with that 15 mil dimension, but it just gives me a bit more specificity. So let's deconstruction line it. Now it's a solid line, and then come up to the top corner, and then I'm going to reconstruction line it. Click that top point, and then come down. The magic number, I believe, was 25, 26, something, 28. Let's find out, hey? So if I go into my sketch over here, it was 26 mil from the top corner to the bottom corner. So I come back here, grab my construction line. Oh, I've already got him there actually. So I'll dimension him, and then type in 26, enter. And then I'm going to grab this guy and come straight down with a construction line. And then, so that yellow dotted line means it's straight down or straight across in this particular situation. And then come up 2.5 millimeters, and then get rid of construction line and go across. Alright, so there's my first dovetail pin, so to speak. So from here, instead of drawing that over and over again, doing that same process, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pattern. So I'm going to select this line, and I'm going to select that line. And before I even do that, I might just get even a bit more fancy with it. So I'll deselect that, and I'm going to cut these lines here. Hopefully this is fancy and not annoying. Cut that line, cut that line, cut that line, and cut that line, and that line. So what I'll do is I'll close off this shape, and I'll draw a line from here to there, but I won't use that. I'll draw a line from here down, and that line needs to be, what's the magic number? From here, this point to this point, needs to be 31 millimeters. Glad I checked that. So from this line down, 31. Make sure you're not accidentally selecting any center lines or anything like that. My watch is asking me to stand up and walk. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll select the lines I want to replicate. And then I'll create a linear pattern like this. Now, I don't want it to be up, across. So right now it's going one up, 2 up, 3 up, or 3 across. So I'm going to change that to 1, and now it's only 1. And then I'm going to change this number to 3. Enter. And then I'll change the spacing to 52, negative 52 is our magic number, and that just allows that guy to perfectly meet up with this construction line. So 15 mil at that point, and then there he is in the top corner. So the spacing is equidistant. So if I put a center line here, this would be exactly, this endpoint would be exactly equidistant from the center line as this one here. Now, in order to finish this off, I need to click arbitrarily in space, right? So now my my lines have been solidified. My linear pattern has been solidified. So I got to just trim this guy, and I believe this guy here as well. Oh no, I'll Control Z that. Just that one at the end. And I'll also get my system and trim these arbitrary points as well. Cool. So now we have our dovetails. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, which is good. And now we're going to do our finger joints on the other side. And then I might need to go to Judy. So if I come to my line tool on this side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come 20 mil down because we got 160. So we're going to space it out 20 mil. So I'm going to go one finger joint coming up, 20 mil down, another finger joint, 20 mil. That finger joint's width or height is 20 mil, and then 20 mil gap, and 20 mil finger joint, and 20 mil gap, all the way down. So that should be 4 reoccurrences of our finger joint, I believe. So finger joint, 20 mil gap, 40, finger joint, 60, 20 mil gap, 80, finger joint, 100, 20 mil gap, 120, finger joint, 140, 20 mil gap, 160. Alright, and I'll show you how it works. So let's start at the bottom because we want to come up. Oh, actually, no, let's start at the top. I'll cut this line, and I'm going to draw a line 20 mil down, enter, and then across 15 mil because that's the width of our timber, and then I'm going to go 20 mil down again, and then let's create a linear pattern out of that. So select, I might need to draw a little line here just so it exists. Alright, so now I can select him, and him, and then we're going to go linear pattern. And again, we want to go 1 across only. And then we want to carry 4 downwards. And our spacing needs to be, you can actually kind of eyeball it and then guess what the number will be. Our spacing between here and the end of this space is 40 mil, which makes perfect sense because we've got 20 mil and 20 mil. And it actually tells you the spacing difference. So we need to make sure it's negative 40 mil because it's going downwards. So enter on that one. And then we have our finger joints. Remember to click arbitrarily out in space to finish off your sketch or finish off the linear pattern. And then we can come through if we want and trim everything up. Let's just trim that line there. Just the one is all we need to trim. And then we can trim him down the bottom here. All right, now that looks perfect to some degree. There's a bit of an issue. So if we make him this line, let's dimension him just to make sure everything's all good, and we make that dimension 310 because 340 minus 15 on that side and 15 on that side is 310, and happy days. So that looks all good. If we tick that sketch, it should be good to go. Maybe not. Might be something opening it up. So I'll double click on that sketch to fix it up. And let's see where our issue lies. Let's cut some lines to find out. Oh, so we've got a bit of an issue there. Our spacing. So if I just go Control Z a few times. Oh, it probably starts up here, isn't it? Oh, I bet this is slightly out. So, 40 mil. So that's 20 mil. Let's dimension the other ones. See what happens. Okay, so that's 20 mil from there to there. So this line's out slightly. Right, okay. Well, all we need to do is just trim that line, I guess, and then redraw it. That should have worked though, so hopefully it works for you when you do it. I imagine it will. I may have selected the wrong thing maybe. Right, there we go. Lovely. So tick that sketch. And then we can give him some mass. Extrude and 15 mil. And tick. And let's name this part. So it's come up as a part. Let's name him or her. Front long panel. I'll go long side maybe, because that's what it is, side. So I'll stop the video here and then we'll model the next one next time. 19 minutes, not great, but we did pretty well, I reckon. So I need to come over here. There we go. Stop the recording. There we go. Stop the recording.